What's up guys, NepentheZ here, and welcome back to another FC25 video. This afternoon we are going to look at some of the best options and the most popular options from the Octopus 2 Evolution. As you can see here on Futbin, this one was downvoted quite significantly. I think for the most part just because of the rating limit more than anything. And we did a little review on it on yesterday's 6 PM content video. But I wanted to go back through it today again because I've been sent some really cool Evos. I found a couple of Evos myself that are really cool paths. And then I had a look at Futbin's popular list to see what was going on. And there's some really, really good options there as well. So if you guys, of course, enjoy the content, feel free to drop a thumbs up on the video. And if you want to submit your Evos so that I can see them, join the Discord, discord.gg/NepentheZ. There is an Evo section right there. So you can show off your Evo teams or your individual Evo players. What is this Evo and who's it good for and where does it work? So the Evo is obviously the Octopus 2. We had one some time ago. Overall is max 86, which isn't actually too bad, but you don't really get many boosts if you put a max 86 player in there. Passing max 82, defending max 84, playstyles maximum 10. This is something that went a little bit under the radar. Up until very recently, we've had maximum playstyles set at 7, 8, and 9. This is, I believe, only the second evolution that allows us a maximum of 10 playstyles, which is really good for people that put on the rapid and tiki-taka or intercept and press proven playstyles that kind of took the player over the limit, which is good. Playstyle plus is maximum 1. Of course, it doesn't matter really if you've got a playstyle plus. In fact, I would urge people to boost cards that don't have a playstyle plus with this Evo because it doesn't give a playstyle plus, which leaves you in a really healthy spot. And of course, the position has to be CDM. It gives an overall +5, 12 pace, 5 passing, 3 dribbling, 6 defending, and 3 physical. It gives slide tackle and press proven, which I think both of are very, very, very decent. And then it gives holding plus and deep lying playmaker plus. I've spoken to a few people just over the last couple of days that have mentioned how deep lying playmaker plus is like their favorite role for a CDM. Me personally, holding is my favorite role. So I like the fact this gives holding plus, but I might have to try deep lying playmaker plus because if players who are better than me are saying it's a good play style or good role, sorry, maybe I need to take a little look at it. So I've picked some players here. As I said, I went for the popular page, and the first one I wanted to talk about actually was somebody who I didn't really pay attention to in 6 PM video yesterday, and it's Aurelian Tchouameni. And I really like this card for a multitude of reasons, mostly because he also has centre-back, and I think this really helps him in that regard. Not for roles per se, but just in general. He gets deep line playmaker, holding plus, and deep line playmaker plus at CDM, so I would still probably use him as a CDM. But once he gets this boost, the first thing when I looked at him and thought, I didn't even pay attention to that I really like is he doesn't have a playstyle plus. We're getting like max 86 Evos right now. Team of the year is right around the corner. I think we're going to be able to improve the 87s and 88s up to 89s and 90s very soon. And so Aurelian Tchouameni with no playstyle plus gives you the freedom to wait for the evolution that suits him for the playstyle plus that you want. Obviously, he's French and Real Madrid as well, so really easy to link to Ferland Mendy, who's got some great Evos, Camavinga, who's got some great Evos and a great promo card, and Kylian Mbappe as well, should you have him in just in terms of the French Real Madrid links. But I really like this card for a lot of reasons. First of all, his defending and physical is really tidy, really well-rounded. His dribbling is good. His passing is very good with 90 short pass, 89 long pass, 87 vision, and his pace is very good. I've been on this kind of like run recently of giving Sentinels, Deadeyes, and finishers to absolutely everybody. I quite like a Sentinel on him because it gives him great defending and very good physical, but I don't think he needs 12 jumping. And so actually, I think for me, a Guardian Chem style on him to give him that dribbling boost, giving him 4 more agility, 8 more balance, 12 more dribbling, makes him a really good card in that CDM role with really good passing. You could still go for your anchor if you want him mostly lengthy. You could still go for a shadow if you just want that blistering pace. And again, it makes him a really good CDM in that regard. But he also has long ball pass, which for a deep line playmaker is really good, especially if you do use those over-the-top chip through balls, those first-time ones. And then look at his defensive playstyles. This is what I love about this card right now. Bruiser, intercept, jockey, slide tackle, anticipate, aerial, relentless, press-proven, long ball, and no playstyle plus, which for right now might make him a little bit behind other players that you could potentially use. For example, his own 88 rated card here. But once that Evo setup kind of improves, and you can get him 1 or 2 playstyle pluses, a skill move weak foot upgrade, and then maybe a small stat boost as well, he's just going to be lights out good. And you can tell, even by this Aurelian Tchouameni here, this one here is 161,000 coins. Also has no playstyle plus, but has less pace, bit more shooting, less passing, bit more dribbling, a little bit more defending, and the same physical, but is 1 overall higher and doesn't have, where are we? Doesn't have, which playstyle was it he didn't have? It doesn't have press proven. He doesn't have slide tackle. That's it. But yeah, this one here, this Tchouameni gets press proven and slide tackle as bonus like playstyles. And then in terms of roles, where are we for the roles? Roles here. In terms of roles, this one has deep line playmaker plus and plus at CM, CDM, and holding plus. Of course, as we know at CDM, Aurelian Tchouameni, that's the Evoed version, gets deep line playmaker plus plus. So in theory, and I know this isn't exactly how it works, but in theory, this Aurelian Tchouameni is it's not even very comparable. I'd say this one on the left is probably a little bit better for the most part than the one on the right. And the one on the right is a 160,000 coin card. So for purchasing a 5,000 coin Tchouameni and then applying the Octopus 2 to him, you've got yourself an insane card. And one that I highly value for the future. And I've started looking at my own Evos differently going forwards as well. Not looking at players as who can I make meta now, because it's just not possible, is it? Like the meta curve has gone up massively. So I'm kind of like getting players prepared with playstyles, roles, skill move, weak foot, and in-game stats. But when EA release an Evo that then gives them that like extra boost, where I'm like, okay, I've turned this player, I've conditioned this player now into an absolute monster. And I think Aurelian Tchouameni is there. And also, if he does get a centre-back role, if EA release one of those Evos where you can like make a centre-back a defender plus plus, I think Aurelian Tchouameni with defender plus or defender plus plus, I would play him at centre-back 100%. I think he'd be an absolutely cracking centre-back in there. So he's a really good option for me. I really like him. This Ramirez, I mean, wow, what a card he becomes. I really like the boost that he gets. Where is it? 2 defending, 3 dribbling, 3 physical, and 5 passing. This card is already on the market 300,000 coins, right? It's gone up maybe a little tick or two, so it was like maybe like 220, 230, but it's brought this card right back up. He doesn't lose his chemistry boost because he's still got the Hero League, which is really, really nice. And much like that Tchouameni, much like all of the cards that go in here, if you've still got them, he's still eligible for Press Proven and Intercept, which you don't need to give because he has Intercept Plus and gets Press Proven from this one, and Weak for Upgrade, which you really could give him. And at that point, it makes this Ramirez card just something absolutely spectacular. 4-star, 4-star with ridiculous stats. He's just very good. And he's got aura, hasn't he? 5'10", 4-star, 4-star, holding plus plus and deep line playmaker plus plus. Intercept plus, slide tackle, relentless, press proven, and chip shot. No passing play style is a bit sad. For that reason, I'd probably just use him as a holding plus plus DM because you don't really want to use him as a creative player in any which way. But Ramirez is very good. And we also looked at Blaise Matuidi yesterday, and I also think he's very good for it as well. You could pop him in there. And if you have still got that 4-star weak foot Evo, which you probably haven't, I haven't, you probably haven't either, you could give it to Matuidi, Tchouameni, like any of these players, and it works for them. So I wish EA would do a bit more of that. What I like about this Blaise Matuidi card, though, after he gets the upgrade, is his base passing is really good with 90 short passing. His roles, obviously, now holding and deep line playmaker plus plus, which is great. He's got ping pass, intercept, relentless, quick step, anticipate, which is massive in my opinion for CDMs. Slide tackle and press proven. He's like a perfect build, like a really, really strong build for a CDM. And what a boost that is. Pace, dribbling, defending, physical, and passing for only a +1 on the card. And the reason why that's powerful is because the next time EA given a boost that takes like a player from an 87 to an 88, or an 84 to an 88, but like, you know, in this regard, like here, you only get the +1, you're going to get another big boost on him. It's just going to make him even better still. And so next up was a player that I think is going to be a big fan of a lot of Chelsea players. We've got Lavia here. He does need to go into a double Evo path. So if you don't have Incisive, if you didn't put him in Incisive Deep Line Playmaker 2, you won't be able to do this. It's one of the reasons why there's two things with Evos. The first thing is sometimes be cautious, especially with players that you want to Evo, like a Lavia, because you might end up finding a path that really works. So sometimes waiting could be good, but also sometimes waiting could be bad because if you might miss out on using an Evo in the current moment because you're waiting for a fun path. So it's really difficult to get right, which is why now from going forwards, I'm going to start making some content on Evos. Every time a new Evo comes, I'm going to try and give like my opinion on kind of like where these Evos are best suited and who they're best suited for. And we'll get to that kind of at the end of what we're looking at here for some best suited players, because I do think there are some really good options that you can have here. But if you did put Incisive Deep Line Playmaker 2 onto Lavia and now you can put Octopus 2 on him, this is a really fun card. Great short passing, great long passing, decent vision, good pace, very good dribbling, although a little low on reactions. 3-star, 4-star with Deep Line Playmaker plus, of course. And this is why I like him. Press proven, first touch, tiki-taka, incisive pass plus, which I keep being told is the best passing playstyle. And yet I have 2 or 3 players with it in my team and 2 of them with the incisive plus, and I just don't use it. So it's something I need to almost force myself to use more. And then slide tackle on Lavia as well. And as you can see, this is just a great card. I think for me, again, a Sentinel keeps him controlled lengthy, which is great. Gives him brilliant defending, brilliant physical, good pace. I appreciate that probably some people can't get this card because they didn't do the right Evo path or whatever. But if you have, here's a really good option for it. And then next up, guys, we've got a silver player here. He's gone mad expensive. I'm going to be so upset. He hasn't. He's extinct on PC. I have 2 of him tradable. One on my trade pile and one in my club, because I'm like, I look at him constantly and I think because of the way his stats are so well balanced, I think to myself, he is primed for a great Evo. And again, although you need an Evo path for him, remember Kleiber is still there and it's also free. So when we actually get this Vega, there is a lot of things I really like about this card if you've got him. There's a few things I don't like about this card, but they are completely overshadowed by the things that I really like about this card. So first of all, I don't like the fact that he's only got 2-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot. However, I am certain that you will eventually be able to fix that via an evolution. The thing I do like is he has got centre-back roles and CDM roles, of course, and he's got left-back as an option, although I probably wouldn't ever play him as a left-back. I do think CDM is probably the best suited spot for him. I don't like his pace split, but I do like his sprint speed, and I do like his passing as well. His passing is really well-rounded. His defending is really good outside of defensive awareness, and his physical in general is very good, with his dribbling being very good outside of balance. So there's a few like core issues there. But he has got block, bruiser, slide tackle, press proven, and intercept plus. This is another card that I will look at, and I'll show you some cards in a moment as to why I think this one's worth doing if you're a Chelsea fan, or if you're a Portuguese fan, or if you just love Vega. It's because he is only 82 rated, yet he's got stats way beyond that. You know, his pace is 3 above. His passing's 1 below. His defending is 3 above. His physical's 1 above. His shooting's really low, which you really don't mind, especially if you do end up playing him in as a centre-back at 6'3". And his dribbling's like quite low, but actually his dribbling stats are quite good. It's only that balance that and maybe the dribbling here that really brings it down. This Evo is a sort of card where you will easily get 2 or maybe even 3 more Evo boosts out of him before he gets capped. And that's why I really love this, because I think about what could this card be somewhere down the line. And when I look at the key stats for a defender, for a centre-back specifically, because I think that's where he's going to be best suited, his defending, physical and pace is so good. So if you get him lengthy, or as it is now, controlled lengthy with an anchor, the only thing that bothers me is his reasonably low defensive awareness. But other than that, his physical is brilliant. His pace is brilliant. His defending is brilliant. He's already a 90 rated centre-back as an 82 rated card with 4 of 6 defensive playstyles and press proven. So when it comes to it, and he can be evoed again, it's going to be crazy. And I don't think there's anything. Oh, you can actually even now. Wow, I didn't even notice that. You can even now put him in quarter century quest. Get that skill moves and weak foot +1s. What does that do to his dribbling? What does that do to his dribbling? It gets his dribbling right up there. This is a class centre-back. Oh, my days. This is a really good card. Trolled lengthy, no more. Now I'd go for a sentinel on him. Do you know what? That might not be worth it. That might not be worth it for Renato Vega. I think the boost that he actually gets from one to the next, he gains 3 pace, 4 shooting that we don't care about, 5 passing that's not really that relevant, 6 dribbling and only 2 physical. The skill move and weak foot upgrade I do like. Maybe as a CDM with like a backbone on him. What have we got? That's pretty good. A 90 rated DM. Maybe even still an anchor on him there. I mean, this is a good card. At 6'3", when I look at his stats, I just think he is primed to be a centre back. So a shadow on him there gives him great pace, great defending, very good physicals, and then for a centre back, brilliant dribbling and brilliant passing. This is a really cool card. A really cool card. I also like the idea of leaving it at this 82 rated version and waiting for some more appropriate upgrades. And this is exactly what I mean with, like, sometimes it's best to wait and sometimes it's not. But conditioning your players for where you want them is key. You might look at that next upgrade and think, he doesn't get enough of a boost in the areas that I want to boost. Like for me, for example, that would be defending, physical, and pace. He does get a pace boost. He does get a physical boost from that the quest Evo, but he doesn't get a defending boost. I would probably wait for an Evo that gives him like a +3, +2, +3, +4, but gives him a huge boost in defending, physical, and then, you know, play styles that are prominent to defending play styles. Like if we could get Jockey and Anticipate on him, oh, this card would be absolute dreamy. And it's a free card. It's all free Evos, which is really, really nice. So Renato Vega, for me, guys, a really good option. And then I found another player here. I looked for some very specific play styles to find who would be the best option. And of the play styles that I put in, McGregor wasn't just the best option. He was the only option. And it's another Evo for me that I really like for a couple of reasons. The first reason I really like him is he's 4-star, 4-star, which is brilliant. The second reason why I really like him is because he's got Deep Line Playmaker Plus after this. The second reason why I really like him is because he doesn't have Playstyle Plus and he's only 84 rated. But the third reason why I really like him is because of the playstyles that he has. He already has ping, pass, and tiki taka. Obviously, he gets slide tackle and press proven, and he's got relentless. When I look at this card, again, I think about this card not for right now, but definitely for like a future card. I think this card could be absolutely mind-blowing because he's got 5 brilliant playstyles already. Okay, slide tackle maybe you could debate is not so good. He's got really well-rounded dribbling for a CDM. He's got defensive awareness as his highest defensive stat, which is really good for boosting his defending going forwards. His physical is good with great stamina. His base passing is good and his pace is good. So when you apply like an anchor or something like that on him, which is what I would give, as far as an 84 rated CDM goes, this is a really good card. And I don't even know if he's eligible to go into... so he can go in quarter century quest as well, which is really nice because at that point, what does that give him? 3 more pace, 4 more shooting, 5 more passing, 3 more dribbling, 5 more defending, 4 more physical. Look at this card. Look at this card. He doesn't gain any rolls from quarter century, but short passing is brilliant. Long passing is good. Vision is good. Pace is very good. Dribbling, all of a sudden, is very good. Defending is good and physicals are good. Now as a CDM, with a Sentinel, an Anchor, or a Shadow, we've got a 90 rated CDM in there from an 87 rated card with insane pace and great defending. With an Anchor, you've got good pace, very good physicals, very good defending. And then with a Sentinel, which again is probably what I'd go for, you've got brilliant defending, especially with that defensive awareness, very good physicals, and really good stats outside of it. I really like this card. And again, not to keep going over the same thing over and over, but I love the fact that he doesn't have a Playstyle Plus. And I know it sounds weird right now because we're into 2 Playstyle Plus territory, but an 87 rated card with very well-rounded stats and no Playstyle Plus is going to be the sort of card that is going to be like dumb broken when it goes forwards. And so after that, guys, they'll be my like best options. They're the ones that I like the most in the game right now. After that, we've got Editor Josh has a team this year, an RTG this year called the Wang Gang. And as you can imagine, everybody in his team is called Wang in some way or another. Or if they're not called Wang, they're called, for example, Jizz Horncamp, right? So he's got the Wang Gang, right? This is his card after he puts him through quarter century 1, the Octopus, and then quarter century 2. This card, Wang Jiangming, I just want to show you what he started as. This is where he begun. And this is what I think Evos are like absolutely brilliant for, because this is where he ends. An 87 rated right mid with 4-star, press proven, club like Hullet Gang, club 80 there with great stats, especially for that CDM, maybe even right back role as well. When we look at his in-game stats, he's got press proven, rapid, power shot, aerial, anticipate, relentless, slide tackle. He's 5'11". He's got low composure, but otherwise dribbling stats are brilliant. Pace is brilliant. Defending with that high defensive awareness and high slide tackle. And that's why when we look at and I want to talk about that now, right? When you want to start evoing a new player, there's several key stats in this game that I think you need to look out for. Attack positioning, defensive awareness, stamina, and then reactions and composure. Now his composure is low, but his reactions are okay. In terms of the defensive stats, the way when EA Evo cards is, right, if there's a more prominent stat, they will give more to that stat when they Evo up. So, for example, if they gave an Evo on this one that gave, let's say, 10 defending, it wouldn't just go to 65 here, 53 here, 72 here, 69 here, and then 72 there. It would go like 74 or 75 here, 74 or 75 here. Then it would go from like 43 to like 46 here. And so for some reason, instead of balancing the stats when you're evoing a player that has a mismatch of stats like this, EA have decided in their infinite wisdom to continually push the biggest stats. So when you're looking for a player to evo, think about what stat you want pushed the most and evo that player. Evo these players have got like for Wang Jiangming here, the fact that he's got great positioning and great defensive awareness and great stamina is why when we look at his card here, his physical is absolutely brilliant. His passing is also very good. His defensive awareness and attack positioning are brilliant. So you can probably use him as that right wing or that right mid as well because he's got those good properties. The only thing I will say as well, though, is watch out for when EA give Evos that strictly give a stat boost to a stat, like a 10 stamina or a 10 strength or a 10 defensive awareness or a 15 composure, because that's how you can like bring these cards into scratch. Like this card here for Josh, he needs an Evo that gives a big composure boost and a big aggression boost. And at that point, this card's going to be insane. And it's only 87 rated with brilliant stats. So we got a lovely Wang Gang player there. A user from the Discord sent this card in. So it's Ahulu. He's only 3-star, but 87 rated, no playstyle plus, bruiser, press proven, ping pass, slide tackle, and great stats again. Low on shooting, but look at this. 86 passing, 86 defending, 85 pace and dribbling with 87 physical. Absolutely fantastic as a CDM or centre mid there. And again, a card that eventually will be outstanding. Once you can get him up to 4-star or better, once you can get him another sort of like 4 or 5 play styles, he's just going to be absolutely banging. We've got, I think is his name Kyle Morton. I think his name's Kyle Morton. We've got Morton sent in to us here as well. And what we're seeing with these players is everybody's kind of got the same player, right? Like the pace defending, physical, dribbling, passing split. They're all in that 85, 86 range. But certain players have other exclusive properties like play styles, roles, skill moves, weak foot, height, things like that. What I like about Morton is he's got Tiki Taka Plus, long ball press proven, bruiser, slide tackle. He's got really well-rounded stats. You know, we just looked at like that Wang card who had a big mismatch in stats. Like Morton, because they're really well-rounded. His short pass, long pass vision are very close and very good. He's got 99 stamina and otherwise good physicals. He's got really well-rounded defending stats and good dribbling. And his 87 rated card as well. Like, I feel like this is probably just about where you want it to be for an 87. You know, if this was an 86 or an 85 with these stats, it'd be even better still. And then last but not least, we've got Lamina from Wolves. Damn, this card looks sick to me. Again, same properties. It's just that the thing with Lamina is he is, where is he? I spelled his name wrong. Oh, Lamina, not Lamina. Lamina is 6 foot tall, 3-star, 4-star, and already has flair and technical as a role. I don't think this Evo of Lamina is a straight one in there. I think he goes through potentially Remember Kleiber first. No, impossible because he doesn't get in there. Must be through the quarter century first, then the Octopus. There you go. This is that card, and it's another good one. Brilliant defending, brilliant physicals, good passing, good dribbling, good pace. 4-star, 4-star now with good rolls, press proven flair, technical, slide tackle, and relentless. This is just a really good card. And another shadow on him. You got yourself great pace, great defending, very good physicals. It's a really good card. So in general, guys, the Octopus was downvoted as an evolution. And on my first look as well, I was like, yep, I don't like this one. Like, it's this, that, and the other. But on reflection, there's some really cool cards that work for this and some really cool ways that you can kind of set cards up for future Evos. And so one of the things that I kind of want to do over the next few weeks and months is every time we look at an Evo, if it's not an Evo that makes a card great, we're going to start looking at it as an Evo that will set a card up to make it great. And that's where we're going to try and find the best cards and the best Evo paths for these certain cards. And so what I would say to you is, the Octopus is obviously very good for a CDM. So what I want to do is start finding cards that are really strong for certain Evos. So with the Octopus, it gives a great pace boost. It gives deep line playmaker plus, and obviously it's good for CDMs. So when it comes to players, I want to go and find myself a CDM, right, that is probably bronze. So I want that max rating at 64. Skill moves and weak foot, I don't really care. Footedness, I don't really care. Rolls, I don't really care. But play styles, I really want to find a bronze card that has already a passing play style, or just in general a play style. And it would be really nice if Footbin would ever kind of like give us some cards here that have got play styles already. But I also don't mind finding somebody that's got reasonably low pace, because we get a good pace boost here. But also like finding somebody who's extremely tall, that would be like a really good option. So if we go for, do we get to do height? Build, height, and weight. There we go. So we go for centimeters, and let's go for like 186 centimeters and apply that height. Have we got some, there we go. We've got a 6'6" player here. We've got a 6'5" Englishman. Theo Zidane, centre midfield, who's got CDM and Cam. How well-rounded are his stats? He's got really low defensive awareness, so it wouldn't be good for him. This is more of an attacking player than a defensive player, so he wouldn't be very good for it. We've got not really well-rounded stats there. These are pretty well-rounded stats for Dante Olvara, but he's a right mid, and he's 5k, which is probably why he's so expensive, because he's probably really good for an Evo like this. 64 rated, 4-star, 3-star. Doesn't have any rolls, but if we did put him in to the Octopus 2, straight away, that is a really nice boost. That is a 69 rated card. I actually don't like the way his dribbling stats are. He's not ideal. What else have we got? I like the idea of... I wonder if there's any 4-star, 4-stars. I don't think there are. Theo Zidane's good. This Finley Burns guy, he's nice and tall. He's got really well-rounded defending and decently rounded physical. Got low balance compared to the rest of his stats there, but good reactions and good composure. And his short pass, long pass, and vision are the premium stats here, which means when boosted here, he will get to 99 short pass, 99 long pass, and 99 vision very easily. So if we look at him straight off in the Octopus 2 and look at the boost that that gives, see what I mean with the stats now? Short pass, long pass, and vision are like much better. Defending is really well-rounded. That balance is going to be a bit of a problem, but this guy has centre-back, and that's why I like this card. And if we then put onto him Remember Kleiber and quarter century and quarter century, now obviously maybe you don't have the weak foot upgrade, but he's already 4-star, 4-star. all of a sudden we've got a card now. Look how nice that is. For an 82 rated card, he's got very good pace, great passing, especially in the right areas, good short pass, long pass vision, 95 composure, high reactions, really good defensive stats, really good physical stats, with like a shadow on him or an anchor to keep him mostly lengthy. That is an 82 rated card with intercept plus, bruiser, slide, press proven and relentless that you could play at centre-back, who is 6'5" and a 90 rated centre-back. This guy is an insane player for this chain and so low rated that he will definitely be able to be evoed up even more and even nicer going forwards. And so I just wanted to look at the Evo today in a bit more detail, guys, rather than the few minutes that I give it in the 6 p.m. content. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, I'm going to give way more content like this. If you didn't, then fair enough. Not for everyone, I suppose. But thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.